All right, everybody, you can tell getting pretty rough out here. Looks like the mainsail's slatting because of no wind, but the camera just doesn't do it justice in that sea state, man. Camera never shows it, but it's at least 15 to 20 feet out here, blowing, I don't know, 30 to 40 knots. All right, good morning. Welcome on board Mystery. You can see it is the storm before the storm in here. And I'm just sitting down with a little bit of tea. It is New Year's Eve. And I am in the process of, preparing to go to, well, I should say destination Southwest Vancouver Island. I just readjusted and replaced some of the nuts and bolts on the alternator. And after a quick check, I saw that this one here is backed out and was spinning, rubbing against the alternator belt. So I've got to get in there and figure out how to, well, it's not like I need to figure out how to do it. I just gotta do it. So, yeah, we're just heading out of Bellingham Bay. We're a little bit against the tide right now. 12:30, currents are kind of pulling up and in. So we'll get out to kind of Lummi and then I don't know, we'll see what happens from there. Anyways, hey, the wind's picking up here. I'm gonna try to see what I can do to get the sails up. It's fantastic conditions to be a motor sailor, I hate to say it. So as we do the approach, I'm starting to see wind fill in a bit. Makes for kind of a close read. Okay, just getting ready to pick up a mooring here. Figure I'd take you guys along for a second. What I do is basically just go forward, make sure that the mooring line is ready to go. I've got my little, it's not actually a defender, but it's a kind of mooring grabber. And then I'll just do my best to roll up on it. Sail up on it, motor sail up on it, and basically try to hit it with the starboard side of the bow. If I aim for it, I should get close enough and be able to stop. Just arrived at an anchorage on the south end of Cypress Island. Actually, we're kind of more in the center. That was Anacortes over there. I said in the last video I was going to take you with me to pick up the mooring ball, but all that stuff happens pretty quickly, and I wanted to actually catch the mooring ball more than I wanted to film, so we'll just say we're good. I actually was going to pull into, I'll let you know in a second. Just going to give you a little panorama here without too much talking. Beautiful afternoon here. December 31st. Hello, mooring ball. I have a lot of really good greens, and I've got this kind of pre-made chicken salad. I'm gonna throw a little bit of Caesar dressing on that and have that as kind of a pretty simple kind of dinner tonight. And planning on a pretty early departure tomorrow. I did decide to stay overnight here at Cyprus. It's getting dark and it's getting cold, and I'm also pretty tired. I've been pretty exhausted the last couple of days, so it'll be a good way to just relax on the hook a bit. It's so beautiful outside, and it's just a beautiful place to be. So I'm going to enjoy the beauty here and really try on this trip not to just push to the destination, which I don't even know what it is yet. Got anacortes in the background. It's pretty magical night here on the hook. Cyprus. It's having some tea, some pu'er to bring in the night. And just enjoying the plane up there. Oop, and there's a candle through the port light there. All right, good morning to you. It is actually the new year, and you won't be seeing this till after the new year, so happy belated new year to you. Started my morning with lying in a little bit, but then taking a cold dip, and I'm just preparing some tea and some oats this morning. We're gonna have a simple breakfast, and it was nice to start the day. I didn't actually go full dip in with my head and face. I haven't done one for a while, so I went up to the neck, but felt good to start that again. And eventually, I think on this passage, I'll gain a little more courage to get the head in next time. Motor sailing out of that anchorage. Wind is so light. I'm not finding myself with the patience right now to sail down this little passage. So I just turned off the motor. I feel like we've got enough consistency in the wind to make some progress. We're just approaching the south end of Lopez, Watmo Bay, etc. Careful of those ones. Not quite a deadhead, but still potentially challenging for the hull to log connection. All right, we're doing an about face here, and we're gonna pull in through Cattle Pass and into Griffin Bay. I'm having some trouble with the roller furling system, and we're sailing fine now because the sail's out, but I honestly don't want to be pulling into Oak Bay over near Victoria in Canada and have that be a challenge to pull the sail in unfamiliar waters and also at night. So I could heave to and maybe try to deal with it here, but I just feel a little bit better about going in through the pass. The tide is actually just perfect right now. Kind of timed it that way just so that if I decided to stay here for the night, I could get through pretty easily. So, okay, passing through Cattle Pass now. Nice to be doing upwards of 6 knots. 6, kind of upwards of it a little bit. We're getting up to 6, 7. Nice little boat out here. I'm not sure if you can see. I'll try to zoom on it. She just pulled out of Cattle Pass and put up nice kite spinnaker out there. So wish them safe travels. Not too many of us out here in well, January now, early January 1st. So cheers, fair winds and following seas to ya. All right. Yeah, methinks a good call coming into Griffin Bay. Beautiful spot. Wind has died as soon as we've entered in here, but rolling in the furler, it's bound. The spindle and the line around the spindle is bound. So, oh man, I almost got totally clipped on an accidental jibe here. I'm so lucky the winds were light. Running downwind with just the main out and went up to try to see if I could deal with the roller furler before I set anchor. And just as I got back in the cockpit, the boat did an accidental jibe. And luckily there was a slight sound from the blocks before it actually swung around. So I just ducked my head just before it. Okay, dropped the hook in Griffin Bay. Super simple, light winds. Dropped it as I was sailing and dug in and brought the boat right around. We're in 12 feet of water, and we're on the windward side of this little bay, a lee shore, if you will. And just recognizing that after dropping the hook, it's a very good bottom. It's I think probably a mixture of sand and some gravel, so I'm not worried. And I'm grounded. Not because I'm in trouble with my parents or something, but because I did not assess the tides and correctly this evening. And then I looked up the tides, at least I thought I did, and what I saw was that the lowest was happening at 9 p.m. and that it would be a 0.7. The reality is that the low tide's not until midnight, or just before, like 2 minutes before midnight, and it's a negative I think it's a 1.9. It's a negative 1.9. So actually one of the lowest tides of the entire year, really. Good morning there on day 3. Grounded last night, and pretty tiring evening dealing with that. Okay, I'm awake now. Okay, so we just pulled up anchor from Griffin. Okay, we're just on a kind of beam to broad reach, or broad at this point, heading out of Cattle Pass. Sailing is so amazing in the sense that you get from one set of conditions to the other sometimes quite abruptly. Sometimes not always abruptly, but going from being grounded last night to basically perfect sailing conditions today is pretty interesting. Basically hardly any sea state, like maybe 1 to 2, if 2. On a broad reach right now, say that, you know, if there are any waves, they're really coming from just forward of the beam. But yeah, perfect sailing conditions right now. So grateful. On the chilly side, but that's the norm for up here this time of year anyways. But it feels around 5-6 knots, maybe even jumping to 7 on surfing some of these waves. Got some little friends joining us. I don't know what the size is. It's really hard to tell when you're in the cockpit. 2-3 foot maybe. Short period though, right? For the straight, it's always a short period. All right, here we are heading west. That is the south end of San Juan there. And we've got Vancouver Island over here. It's interesting conditions out here, pretty bumpy. So we're just approaching the south. This would be the southeast side of Vancouver Island. And Victoria is basically dead ahead, about a point or so off to starboard. I'm not sure exactly where I'm heading right now. All right, so conditions have calmed down quite a lot. Got a little rough out there, not because of the wind per se. I don't know, I think even it's just gusting maybe upwards of 25, I don't know, in the gust, you know, mostly it was probably around 15 or so. But the fetch was creating some interesting seas, and also the fetch, the waves coming from the southeast meeting up with current coming out of Harrow Strait, made for some fun, spicier conditions. And I'm not sure if that other video came out. It'll be interesting to see, because as soon as I reached for the phone and turned to kind of film the approaching waves, one snapped right at the port quarter, and it turned the phone off. So it'll be interesting to see if I actually got any footage of that. But anyways, I'm going to turn this around and show you where we're at. Averaging about 6 knots, and Race Rocks is about 7.5 miles, and the tide doesn't turn for about an hour and a half, so that gives me just about the right timing to get there during kind of the slack tide, and possibly even a little bit before, so that'd be sweet. Anyways, I'm running into some flotsam now. Lots of flotsam in the water. I'm not sure if you can see them up here, but just straight. These are small, but there's been some big logs. Oh, I got a bunch of them coming up. Okay, I gotta stop this. Just approaching Race Rocks now. Good mile and a half off. Sure comes up quick. Broad reach, starboard tack. Flying along between 5 and 7 knots with the gusts, and current to help with us too. It's a whole eddy line of flotsam. I ran parallel with it on the other side until I found an opening and kind of just went through. Just found some little bumpers with some sticks, but hopefully I don't have to cross back through. It looks like they're going right through the same pass we're going through, but we'll see. That's a whole line of it right there. It's an eddy line of wood. Not sure if you can see that out there. It's just in front of the barge. Massive driftwood. I mean, that thing's a full-on tree out there with oh, birds. I thought they were branches, but it's birds on top. I was like, dude, that's so gnarly. It's still heavy because it's a massive log, but I thought those were branches sticking straight up, like looking for a fiberglass hole to puncture. See if I can get it. There it is. And I'm looking the other direction because I'm at the helm. But woo-wee. Keep an eye out. Okay, coming up on Race Rocks now. Starting to run again, going between Broad Reach and running. So I might have to pull in foresail in a bit, but I'm gonna leave it out until we get past these, this little pass of Race Rocks. Super bumpy just on the other side of Race Rocks, and as soon as we cleared Race Rocks, it's just been fabulous. I am looking for a kind of hole to get into tonight. I'm gonna go past this other point that's a little bit further up here, and looks to be an anchorage around this kind of spit area up here at Souk. So I'm gonna make that way there, and then yeah, drop the hook for the night and congratulate myself. Short passage for a lot of you out there, but I've not done this southwest side of Vancouver, and I haven't done it during the winter time either, so I'm pretty stoked. Okay, here we go. right, so we just dropped the hook in Souk. Not sure how this anchorage is going to be. It's a little bit, we're kind of in a river runoff here, and it looks to be a natural park, and we're once again anchored on a lee shore. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm gonna be on anchor watch here for the next, well, all night. End of day 3, and we're over at Skook, and got a late start this morning, partly because of being grounded last night, and it just took a lot of energy last night to be aware, and I conked out a few times while I was on heeled over, but all was well. Floated off well, got out of Cattle Pass in good time, and yeah, just made great time crossing Harrow Strait. And I thought I was going towards an anchorage that was kind of like on the map, and any of you out there have Navionics or whatever, there'll be anchorages that are kind of noted as anchorages on the charts, and then anchorages where people put down. So I thought the one I was going to was one that someone put down, and I realized only maybe an hour ago after relooking at the thing, I'm like, I think I actually put that marker there. Okay, good, whatever it is for you. It's morning for me-ish. Right now I'm making some oats and some tea, and we'll just see how the day goes. Right now I'm liking being lazy. I got to sleep in after some getting up at night and double checking things a few times and quieting down some things. I'm in a good space now, so we might just hunker down for the day. All right, it is now afternoon, still on Friday. Man, I just slept like most of the day. Tea, kind of snacks, food. I am in recoup, I guess, mode after 3 days on the water. Yeah, zaps the energy, I think, especially with temperature. But who knows? I need some sleep. Feeling good now. Just woke up from a daytime nap. I'm making myself some sort of pasta with Alfredo and shrimp. Bought a little frozen package of shrimp before I left, and it's good still. So, gonna make that up. And yeah, here's a view of the anchorage, though. All right, good morning. We're just on our way out of Skook. Got kind of a wake up, get and go mode this morning because I got a kind of an iffy passage today, just in terms of times, not really in terms of conditions. So I didn't film anything at the very beginning, and I'm kind of like bumbling around because I like haven't woken up too long ago. Woo! Hello. Coming up on a pretty big school here. I'm trying to figure out how to go around. I just dropped the throttle a bit, so we're going slower, but they're pretty quick. They'll figure it out, but I don't want to just barrel through here like out of disrespect. So Gotta respect the, if you enjoy the ocean, you gotta respect the ocean and its inhabitants. All right, passing the lighthouse at Sheringham Point. It's approaching Point Wacha Wacha. Just got beautiful calm conditions out here on the strait, and we are heading back from Jordan River. Change the climb a little bit. Look at that friend there. That is a log that I don't want to hit. A few of those out here, which makes nighttime sailing a bit sketchy for sure. I anchored in outside of Jordan River there and took a dip for a surf, and to be honest, it was crappy. The conditions were really bad, and I was worried about Mystery the entire time because she was on the hook out there and not 100% sure of what the swell was going to do with the changing tide and all that. Everything ended up being fine, but I got on board and just kind of wanted to rip out of there in order to get back in a timely manner. But totally nervous going through Race Rocks like at night, because it ended up being night by the time I got there. But ended up being a really chill passage actually through it. Okay, good morning there. Not sure how well you can see me in this light. Early morning in Victoria right now. Came in, I wouldn't say late last night, just because it gets dark pretty early. It feels late. But conked out around 9:30 and 10 after kind of 12 plus hours. Ironically, yesterday was the most active and I guess diverse day in terms of conditions, but the least filmed, and that's probably why. So little time to pick up the camera and do something with it, but it was a good day. This morning we are looking at an early departure. I've got some tea brewing here. Okay, just heading out of Victoria Harbor. Early morning, whatever day it is. Now here's the beautiful port of Victoria. As you get in further, it becomes more beautiful with kind of the older buildings and stuff. This is just the industrial area out here. Placid seas as the sun comes up. We're looking almost directly towards Port Townsend there. massive container ship. That's about how close he is. The camera puts him a little far away, but he's right there, which is good. Or her, could be a her captain. It's definitely a whatever ship. I'm wishing them fair winds, favorable seas, and safe passage wherever they're going. Hello, little friends. Picture perfect, huh? Okay, there's the southwest end of San Juan Island. Getting back stateside now. And just motor sailing along. We got wind basically dead on the nose. And kind of the current's making it funky, so I'm still motor sailing, unfortunately. Okay, just rounding this point up into Friday Harbor here. Take a little bit of a indirect route. We came in through Cattle Pass, and again, I haven't been doing the best job of filming, but that was a rough one, man. That we barely made any progress through there, going against the current. All right, this is beautiful. It's cold. The wind's coming from the north right now. It's very chilly. And just approaching the southernmost entrance to Friday Harbor. Quite a lot of rip currents right now. The tide is still ebbing, kind of almost the peak of the ebb. So back here is a few obstacles that we're a little bit just had to be aware of. Not challenging by any means. The beautiful harbor of Friday Harbor. Some boats look kind of like they're ready to sink. That one, I think an old Alberg. It's a beautiful boat though. She looks so beautiful. Look at that. This is all wood though. That one is, I mean. That's like the whole, look at that transom. Oh, if that isn't sexy, I don't know what is. Ooh. What is she? Aquila. Okay, hey there. It's late afternoon, evening time here in Friday Harbor. Challenging sail through Cattle Pass, and then yeah, kind of roundabout way up to Friday Harbor, and made it here. Had a good walk ashore. Everything was closed because it's Sunday. I don't know if I can see timing tomorrow and how long it takes me to kind of fix and navigate this fuel situation. Just contaminated fuel at the moment, so I'm just gonna figure out how to work with that, and if I can. So okay, that's it. Bye for now. Okay. Welcome to a beautiful sunny morning in Friday Harbor. Wow. Here we are. So good morning. What a beautiful day. Try not to get the... So like I said, I had to catch a mooring buoy last night because I was having problems anchoring. And today I got to address a fuel issue. And I'm gonna have some tea, have some oats with some eggs and butter and salt and honey, and get the day started. It is a fantastic one. Super nice, bit of a reward. Okay, just left the mooring at Friday Harbor, heading southbound out the south entrance, and we're gonna start heading back east. All right, hopefully this engine holds up. Hopefully the wind gives us a little something to go by today. Looks like a little bit of favorable wind, so here we go. take the north passage around because I don't want to fight the current through the main channel here as much, and I'm also not wanting to rev too high with my fuel issue. Motor sailing here, trying to get through this passage. Got decent wind, but such a compressed area with the ferries and all kinds of traffic I'm trying to push through. Not sure if you can get that out there, but dead ahead, Fulshan, so amazing. This is an amazing view right now. The light and colors, splendor, the splendor of it all. Okay, we're just coming out of that pass, took the alternative route through there, mostly to avoid the ferry traffic while I wanted to sail through here instead of motor through. The wind is basically westerly right now, but I think what's going to do as soon as we round this bend here, it's probably going to turn to a northerly pretty quickly. It was howling back here. And then of course we got into a wind shadow with the islands, super calm, warmed up. But now we're heading into Rosario Strait. So dead ahead is Cyprus, and we're gonna take Cyprus to starboard. So I'm gonna bear to port, bear left here, and then we'll pass Cyprus on our right side or our starboard side, and might hole up for the night on Cyprus. I'm not sure just yet what my intentions are for tonight. Just coming up on Doe Bay now. The current is pushing really strongly through Rosario, and I was thinking about going to Cyprus possibly tonight, but there's very little wind, and I don't want to be honest, I don't want to motor sail all the way across. We're now sheltered. We're kind of in the lee of Orcas right now. So I think we're pretty sheltered from that north wind that was coming in through, or funneling really through the East Sound area. Anyways, we're going to grab a mooring ball here, and worst comes to worst, we'll either spend the night here or wait till the tide changes and sail across. Okay. Just pulling up on Doe Bay. What's up here, dead ahead. Nice place to beach, kind of to the left side of the screen there, and then to the right side of the screen is a little kind of cove in there where you can also land. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's a Monday, so I'm not sure if anyone will even be around. If the wind seems favorable tonight, I might head over to Eagle Harbor on Cyprus. Lots of options, and so much depending upon the weather. I'm really getting tired of motoring. The view of Fulshan is amazing. Fresh, crisp winter. Pacific Northwest, cold but amazing. Woo. That's probably about the size it looks like to me, even though it's zoomed in. Okay, just got the mooring buoy here at Dobe and about to make a call in to see if anybody answers and see if there's some tubs available. Be a nice way to kind of end this part of the trip anyways. So we'll see what they do. It is an amazing day. Look at this weather today. We got this high pressure now. The lows have kind of moved northerly for a little while. Those couple systems, and now we've got this really nice high pressure system down here. So beautiful, huh? Okay, so we're at Dobe, and you see in the background here, beautiful spot to pull up. I know that's my finger right there. I'm so grateful I elected to come up here. I was gonna head over to Cyprus straight across, but decided to come up this way to kind of work the counter current, and then didn't know that they're open, but just kind of paddled ashore and went to the office, and they had a couple spots open for their spa, or a sauna, I guess, as it were. So super stoked. This is the second. I came in last night and soaked. I'm gonna soak again this morning and then decide on the day. Super light, beautiful conditions right now. Not the best for sailing, but I think once I round the corner, it'll be good winds. Turn into a orca. This is super cool. How cool is that? Looks like it'd be such a cool design for just a regular boat, like to have be an upside down orca. And that little cozy place there to do whatever, you know. It's little, I love these places with these little nooks and crannies to just sit and enjoy. Yes. Okay, we're off once again, and I think we're going to end up just shooting for a Nati or even all the way back to Squalicum today. The wind looks to be relatively favorable. Current's going back and forth, but I think by the time we reach the south end of Lummi, it'll switch to being in our favor. This side doesn't really matter which way it's going. I just have to adjust my course accordingly. Be pod rocks over here to port, and the direction we're looking is northerly. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how the currents and winds kind of continue to shape up. It's pretty light today, but right now that wind feels perfect. I just need to head up, not head up, but head off actually a little bit after I get around these rocks, and then I can make a good line over to Lummi. I'm doing my best now to just sail to the telltales, and you can see I'm up there doing okay right now. Okay, south end of Lummi Island now, and trying really hard to sail. Just not, it like picks up and I unfurl the Geneva and then it just dies almost immediately again, and I got to a point where I turned off the engine for maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes, but then I wasn't able to pass Sinclair Island because the wind completely dropped. Right on the tip of that. Coming into Bellingham Bay now, Fairhaven right there in the distance, and coming off course, so I got to attend to that. Okay, main's down, everything's sorted out, pulling into port just at dusk here, and it seems to be a reoccurring thing, but got the fender set up, everything's ready to go, so here we go, probably the hardest part of the journey. Getting back into the slip. Okay, we were all tied up in Squalicum. Bunch of stuff to put away and together, but probably leave that for tomorrow. Super easy entry. Look at the water. Conditions are absolutely ideal to return into port. Made the entry into the slip really nice. So thank you, Mystery. Yes. That light does my face perfect justice.